I remember reading in your write-up that so you did a tandem swim, which is when you swim with someone else and hopefully going at the same speed so that you can, you both get across together. And so you've got the one sort of support crew. And what was that sort of process like in terms of training and wanting to be at the same speed as the other swimmer, Karina, and then as you were doing the swim itself?
Yeah, so I'd previously done a tandem. So me and another friend did a tandem of Lake Taupo, and that went really well. Like we were pretty consistent through that swim, and so that gave me quite a lot of confidence to sort of give it a go with Karina, because we're all training together, so we sort of have a good idea of each other's pace. I do remember though, quite early in the season, we did a swim-a-thon, and it kind of sort of stuck out for me that, oh, Karina's swimming quite a bit faster. So I think she had sort of maintained a bigger mileage over winter, and I was sort of probably a little bit late to the training game this time round. And so I think there's not too much you can do about that, but actually just get your training up. And then with those big training weeks, we did a lot of swimming together. So a lot of our big swims, we tried to stick together. And I think that's probably the best thing you can do to sort of try to swim consistently, is actually do the training together.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I found swimming or training for Rottnest was myself and a friend, Lysandra, we would do our big swims together in the bay here in Melbourne. And it was just like we'd swim side by side the whole way. And that it takes your mind off things so much more than if you're doing it by yourself. Like it was easy doing 10, 12, 15 kilometer training swims as we were getting closer to it. Whereas like you just didn't have to think about it. And then what about during the swim itself? So I know that about halfway across, a bit over, that Karina started to slow down and she was getting cold and that sort of thing. Before that, was it easy? Did you feel like it was easier knowing that there was someone next to you swimming, or you didn't really think about it?
To be honest, it was quite different to any of our training swims, because obviously when you're swimming in the harbour, you don't have the swell and the conditions that you've got in the Cook Strait. And so I think near the start of the swim, actually, I think Karina sort of got out ahead of me a little bit at the start, and then with the swell, it was quite hard swimming next to each other. But I think we managed all right, and Phil could see both of us, so I think we were fine. And then I suppose as we sort of got into a rhythm a little bit, and it probably as the swell sort of died down a little bit, we were sort of better sort of swimming next to each other. And then, like you said, sort of in the later part of the swim, she sort of started to drop her pace. And to start with, I just thought, oh yeah, I might just be getting faster or something. But yeah, as we sort of found out, that was a sort of start of hypothermia, which was not a good thing.
No, it's and how did you go having to slow your pace? Did you start to get colder as a result, or like what were you thinking mentally as well in terms of, or was it just like, oh, I'm swimming pretty quick here?
So I think that the last thing that we wanted to do was for me to slow my pace. So I think Phil was quite conscious of that, and so what he got me doing was, so when Karina has slowed down quite a bit, he got me sort of swimming out from the IRB and back. So I was sort of doing this zigzag. I'm not sure for how long, probably I think at least an hour, sort of doing this zigzag across Cook Strait while Karina was sort of trying to keep next to the IRB. She wasn't doing a very good job of it at that point, but yeah. So I think if I'd slowed down, I would have got cold. So it's kind of important when you're doing a tandem that you got to think about those things, I suppose.